Hello and welcome back to my Dandelion Diaries. It has been a minute, a hot minute since I have done any sort of plan with me on the channel, and I do apologize for that. I just kind of been in a bit of a, I guess, planner funk, I think. Maybe. I think that's what I want to call it. Anyways, today I'm going to be kind of setting up my health planner for quarter 4 for the month of October, and then also kind of a weekly setup as well. So this might be a bit of a chatty video. I'm probably just gonna do the planning bits and speed through it and like talk over this with a bit of a voiceover, just so I can chat a bit about my planner funk and then also focus on what I'm doing so I'm not making any mistakes in my planner. So yeah. So the way I'm setting this up is similar to how I have done all of my quarterly pages in this book before. So on the left-hand page, I have a section for my top priorities, and then the 3 different sections under that I use for monthly reviews or monthly intentions, or how the month went, like based on, did I meet my goals for that month in terms of health. And then on the right hand page, which is more of like the indexing page, tracker page, whatever you want to call this, I have a top section that I use as a key, and then a bottom section that I used to write down my personal bests or my personal records of weightlifting. So did I beat, like my squat weight, chest, like bench pressing, or anything like that. I've kind of been changing that up like quarter to quarter of like what I'm tracking in terms of like my personal bests. And then I also kind of delineate a little line in between each one of the tracker sections. So there's 3 squares dedicated to the dot markers that I use to track, and then the other 3 squares are dedicated to kind of a brief description of, what exercise I did, whether it be the weightlifting, a 5K run, I did a heavy bag workout, or kickboxing, whatever. So I'm just kind of setting this up briefly with the things that I usually use. So the markers that I use are called Pentel Sign brush pens. They are one of my favorite brush pens ever. I do have them linked in my Amazon storefront. The washi tape I'm using is from it's from London Gifties. I don't remember the name of this one, but it's just been really fun to use this past month of September, and I just wanted to keep using it because I love the look of all of the dragonflies and moths on it. And yeah, the dot markers are Zig Clean Color dot markers, which I think have been around in the community for a minute now. So I think a lot of people have seen these. I don't know if I have these linked anywhere though. But I kind of want to talk a bit about planner funk for a second. So ever since the kind of like, 𝗬𝗃𝗁𝗍 release, we had like the big moment where we ordered everything and everybody was starting to offer all of their pre-order options. Like Sterling Ink had her release, and Just Scribble had her pre-order start, and then Wonderland 222 and Paper Test Designs, and lots of the, I guess, smaller shops were starting to release their planners, as well as 𝗬𝗃𝗁𝗍, and larger companies too were releasing their planners. And there was just like this high, I guess, like riding the excitement of all of the planner release, and it was just like, yes, it is planner season, baby, heck yeah. And I guess I have kind of like had a come down from that. Like I received my 𝗬𝗃𝗁𝗍 order, everything went great. I'm still waiting on my Wonderland 222. Like I'm still waiting on a couple of things to come in for 2025, and my planner funk has been basically like, I want to move into the new stuff, but I can't, which is so unrealistic because obviously it starts in 2025. So there's no specific reason as to like why I should feel the need to like jump into it right away. But I think that's kind of like the thought process of like, shopping and getting new things and you immediately want to use them, or kind of like, show them to your family and be like, hey, look, I got this new thing. It's awesome. Let me talk about it. Like, I don't know. It's just like the newness has worn off, and now I just want to keep chasing that newness feeling of getting new things, which is leading me to the kind of funk that I'm in, that I'm trying to deny myself ordering more planners. Like, and I don't know if others feel this way, but like, I know 2025 is still like months away. There's still so much time left in 2024, and I'm trying to stay present in the current year and not really like jump ahead of myself. But I can't deny that like the itch to get more is there. Like, and I don't know if it's a FOMO, like fear of missing out kind of reaction. I don't know if it's a I just want all of the new things. I don't know where this kind of emotion is stemming from within myself, but I just keep going back to wanting to purchase more. And I'm trying to kind of mitigate that by, touching the new things that I got. So like flipping through the new planners that I got, making sure they are visible at all times so I have something to look forward to. And I don't know if just seeing the new things every day has put me in this planner funk to where I just don't really, I guess I don't really want to get creative in my current planners. Like I want to save that creativity for future planners. I don't know. It's just kind of like a weird little headspace that I'm in when it comes to this kind of planner funk situation. Anyways, moving on into the monthly section of my health planner. This is a spot that I have been loving this year. I've been using it as a mood tracker of sorts by taking the emoji head stickers from the Coffee Monsters Co. and just kind of placing down an emotion of the day, if you will, kind of like a mood tracker again. How was I feeling this day? General emotions. Obviously, I've had multiple moods throughout the day, but the sticker just kind of represents maybe like the biggest mood that I had or the average of how I was feeling. For the washi tape, again, I've been using a London Gifties washi tape. This one's a bit more orange, which goes on theme with the kind of color that I want to use for October, which is orange. And I also like to track my period cycle in this section. So I usually reference like the, day 1 through 30 kind of calendar for my menstrual cycle, and I will write down, what day I'm on based on what time my last menstrual cycle started. Probably TMI for those of you who just don't really need to know that information, but it is my planner and this is how I am using it. I also like to add extra decorations on the monthlies just because these aren't really a functional space for me. It's more of just like a fun time. And I've been using parts or clippings from my washi tape shop collection of PET tapes. And I don't remember the name of the one that I'm using for October, but it is a more like orangey fall time floral. It's got a pumpkin, it's got a cute little bird flying on it, it's got these really pretty like more rust colored roses. Yeah, I really like it. It's great. I love all of the PET tapes and washi tapes I get from the washi tape shop, and they have a really reasonably priced kind of shipping rate. Anyways, I also like to use my monthly section in my health planner to track my weight by week. This is just a number that I like to keep track of for myself. It's not for any kind of weight loss, weight gain. It's just a number to me, and I just like to have stats about myself. So I like to just weigh myself usually on like Mondays or Tuesdays and write down that weight, and that will be my weight for the week. And I just have a nice recollection of that from month to month. So I definitely like to have a little section of that at the bottom of my monthly page. But back to kind of the planner funk situation. So I think that just having the need to shop is my biggest problem here, and that I'm seeing, everybody share all of what they're getting, and it's like the consumerism is pushing through because of, all of the haul videos and everybody getting excited about, what's new and what's coming, what they've gotten, and I think that's a great excitement. I'm not discounting that. I think it's wonderful. I mean, I have the same excitement for myself. I just think constantly exposing myself to that excitement is what's making my planner funk / need to shop more kind of become a forefront in my mind. So I have done my best to kind of give space to myself in watching more haul videos, even though I love watching 𝗙𝗵𝘁𝗍𝗄 haul videos because it's just the excitement. I guess that's what I'm chasing, is the excitement. And I have to kind of respect myself in that, knowing watching those videos don't necessarily trigger me. I feel like saying trigger is a really strong word, but they invoke some kind of emotion in me that makes me want to buy more 𝗦𝘃𝗁𝗍 or makes me want to buy another planner, even though I already have all of the planners I really need and I already have plans for the planners that I have. It doesn't mean I need to go out and purchase more. And I think that's what I'm trying to get through my head by limiting my exposure to purchasing more things. Like, I don't need to be, you know, reading every new release email. I don't need to be seeing all of the haul videos like I mentioned, even though those things do give me excitement and they are really entertaining and fun to watch and just overall a really great part of this community. I think for myself right now, I need to take a space, like take a break from it just for a little while until my emotions kind of calm down from the excitement of, you know, planner release season, 2025 planner launches, all that kind of good stuff. And, you know, my emotions may totally change on this because, you know, I still have things incoming that I, you know, pre-ordered, you know, months ago, but it's just like, I guess I'm trying to reason with myself in my current state and kind of, you know, self-soothe and make myself feel a little bit better in the current planners that I'm in, and that I can still be creative in these planners and still have plenty of creativity and excitement left for the new planners that I will be setting up, you know, in the months to come kind of situation. Moving on into the weekly section though, I definitely am keeping up with the same layout that I have been loving pretty much all year long. I'm really proud of myself with the consistency that I have been able to keep up with this, because it's really quick. Once I set up the week, I just go in every day for like 10 minutes, write all my info in, and then, you know, go to bed. But on the left side of the page, I basically grid out everything that's already there. Like, I just redraw the lines in a different color just because I like the way that looks. Definitely not a necessary step, but I like to use my fountain pens and kind of change up my colors every week and just have, you know, have fun with it. This is, you know, a happy place for me. But on the left side of the page, I like to make 3 little sections where I track my workouts, how many miles I'm running or walking, and then any time that I meditated. So I'll write down like the little, you know, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, whatever that I meditated. And I just like to have that little section on the side so I can keep track of it. And then in the more broad space on the left-hand page is where I track my meals. And by tracking my meals, it's basically just a food log. You know, what am I intaking that day? Like, did I have caffeine? So I'll write down like, you know, I had tea and milk with my breakfast, and then, you know, a piece of toast with an egg on it or something. I don't necessarily get really nitty gritty with like, you know, how many cups, how many, you know, exact pieces of almonds I ate or anything like that. It's just, you know, a general food log of what I'm putting in my body. This also helps correlate to some pages that I have in the back where I track food groups and correlate it to like my sleep, my mood, and my stress. And typically over time, I can see like trends of like if I'm eating a lot of fast food or I'm eating a lot of like high fat things, that my mood kind of decreases or my sleep decreases or whatever. And same thing can go with caffeine. If I'm having a lot of caffeine, I typically have more headaches and, you know, so on and so forth. It's just a really fun kind of correlation of data for myself. Anyways, on the right side of the page, I break this section into like 4 categories. So I have a section that I use my fasting times. This is just, again, reference information for myself. What time am I breaking my fast in the morning or afternoon? And then what time do I stop eating? It's just kind of, again, fun information for myself. I do try to keep to a, I guess, kind of intermittent fasting schedule, but it's not something that I'm really like hard on with myself. It's just something, again, I find really interesting. And then another section I use here is meal ideas or kind of meal prepping. This just helps me get a general idea of things that I'm going to cook throughout the week, ingredients in my fridge that I need to use up before they go bad. A little bit of a grocery list, if you will, that's already in my house versus taking it to the store with a separate list. It's just a nice, again, reference spot that I can use to, you know, help me use up things in my pantry and in my fridge before they go bad. So I'm making the best use of the food in my house versus going and buying more food. The next section that I like to keep here is a more, I guess, mental health section, I like to ask myself, you know, how am I feeling this week? You know, what did I do for me this week? Have I had a happy moment? What was my low moment? And sometimes if I'm feeling, you know, extra chatty in this space, I will take it to my like Dear Diary book, like my journal that's never really shown anywhere but to my eyeballs. And that's where I'll kind of flesh out those thoughts if I feel like I need it. But having this little section in my health planner that I look at literally every single day, it just makes my mind kind of appreciate, you know, what I did for me this week. And it also helps with my memory and seeing, you know, this week actually wasn't bad. Like my lowest moment was that I scrolled on my phone for 30 minutes one of the days, or let's be honest, I scrolled on my phone for like 5 hours on one of the days or something. And then like my happiest moment was like I got to go on a trip with my mom, or I got my nails done, or whatever. Like it's just a nice little section that I can, I guess, be more grateful, have more positive attitude towards what I'm doing with my life. And then the last section that I like to use in the weeklies is a weekly routine section, almost like a little mini habit tracker. It's just a little reference spot for me to see, like, am I using my moisturizer every day? Am I practicing my languages because that's something that I have goals toward? Am I doing my meditations? Am I journaling? Am I reading? Am I stretching? Am I taking my meds? Like, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like, it's just a nice little section to keep me accountable for myself. I don't really put too much pressure on filling out the tracker towards the end of the week if I've, you know, kind of moved on already into the next week. As for supplies during this kind of little setup of the weekly, I really just use mainly my fountain pens in whatever colors I have inked up at the moment or whatever colors I'm feeling. And then I will match that to just a random collection of stickers. So I've been slowly making my way through my Sticky Club stickers. I haven't gotten any of their new kind of monthly subscriptions lately. I've just been making my way through past ones that I have, and I definitely can say I can see the light. I'm getting closer and closer to the end of using them up. I have probably like, I don't know, 20 sheets left. Probably more than that actually, but I'm slowly making my way through my sheets and using what I have instead of purchasing new, and I really am happy with myself for that. Anyways, I like to just kind of correlate the color scheme to whatever sticker sheet matches the best, or kind of whatever mood I'm in. And since we're now into full-fledged autumn and fall here in Texas, I definitely wanted to use some mushies, some toadstools, and kind of get some nice, you know, autumny fall vibes going on. Okay, so after all of that, I'm pretty much done with the setup for Q4, October, and next week. I do still need to kind of flesh out my habit tracker here in the back, but I'm not really 100% sure on what habits I want to track yet, so I'm just going to leave this blank for now. I do set up all of these trackers when I set up the planner at the beginning of the year, or December, November, whatever. So I don't really have to do this every single month, and I do think this takes a huge time consumption chunk of my setup out every month, because I don't have to, you know, draw the lines, run all the numbers. It's already just there ready to go for me. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're interested to see any of my planner setups coming in, you know, November, December, be sure to stay tuned for those. I will be having one video per setup, and I will definitely do what I did last year, where I basically fleshed out from blank book to finished product, because I'm one of those people that like to spend, you know, 90 minutes looking at how things kind of go from something blank to something really creative. So I definitely like to create that kind of content for you guys. Anyways, if you're in a planner funk, if you are experiencing, you know, any kind of FOMO or consumerism tendencies, please chat with me down in the comments, because I think it'll be a nice place for community to just kind of, you know, flesh out our thoughts and get a little bit more peace of mind, I guess, with moving into new books and the excitement and kind of winding down from that and going back into, you know, we are still in 2024 mode. Again, thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.